What's up, everyone? DJ Nubis here with your Military Real podcast with another edition of Lone Wolf with Dub. This time I'm tackling 1981's The Sword Stained with Royal Blood. Yes. Shaw Brothers, great movie. Anyone that's followed me now knows I'm a big Shaw Brothers fan. Five Deadly Venoms, The Kid with the Golden Arm. There's just so many great classics, martial arts classics that the brothers have made over the years, and decided to tackle this one, which apparently is like one of the more rarer Shaw Brother films that used to be out there. Now you can kind of get it anywhere, but does feature a lot of the Venoms. I think it probably features all of them. Actually, you'll see them at different characters in this particular film. But yeah, so the film itself is based off a novel, and it's had three iterations of film, and then also became a TV series for a little while. The first film was like Sword of Blood and Valor back in 1958 or 59. And then you had the version 1981, Sword Stained with Royal Blood. And then also in 1993, they did one, the Sword Stained with Royal Blood. So there's been some different reiterations of the film itself or the novel. But the one I'm tackling is 1981 Shaw Brothers, and stars Philip Kwok as Wan Chenzi, Wen Jesus Earn as Wen Kui Ping, Long Tien Song as Yu or Yua. I'm butchering their names, I apologize. Ching Li as Wen Yi, Chang Shen as Wen Chen, and Lu Feng is also in here. Big fan of his. But like I said, I'm a fan of the Vims in entirety anyway. Uh, yeah, so the thing about this film too is, how do I want to put it? It deals a little bit more to sword play, not so much the martial arts itself, but you do have a lot of great choreography, which is notable for all the Shaw Brothers films and stuff like that with the actors and martial artists. The story begins with the exile of a young boy who grows up to meet his destiny as a great warrior. After his father, a Han loyalist and hero, is betrayed by the emperor and sentenced to death, Yuan Shenzi is spirited away to a reclusive master of the Lu Yao School of Martial Arts, and having grown into a righteous young man of considerable martial arts skill, Juan sets out on his own. He discovers the hideout of a long dead martial arts master known as the Golden Snake, Zia Zua, and lays claim to his buried martial arts manual, sword, and collection of darts. So yeah, the story is basically him of as a kid being taken away after his father is killed, raised by a rare martial artist. I forget what they call it, the Hua-on or whatever, the Hua-on clan, because there's like his master, and then there's two others masters, and one's like the Iron Fist, and then I kind of forget what the other one's name was, but they're also part of the same clan, the same type of martial arts style. But Juan, he came across that they call the Yellow Bandit, the Golden Snake Bandit, who had been pretty much getting revenge for the death of his family by killing off this other clan. And this other clan has their own like special martial arts, and one particularly called the Five Element Array. This is how they would combat a lot of people, a lot of great martial artists by using five warriors, and then even if they did there's like another part of it that they add on when they need to, but the five element array is the main thing, which is very hard to defend. And so he gets to that a little bit later in this, but one thing about it is he first comes across Wen Qinping. Now, obviously, we know she's female, but in the early parts of the film, she's posing as a male, like a young 17 or 18-year-old kid guy. She has pretty good martial arts and is good with swords, but not necessarily like as skilled as Wanda, who's with her now. They meet obviously at this cafe or restaurant, and she's being pursued by part of this other clan where she took some gold, and the gold that was she was taking was supposed to be going to people in need, but she's taking it for whatever reason. I can't remember what the exact reasoning was, other than mostly her clan is the one that's not very good. But at first, she wouldn't know that because obviously Juan is naive to the world, naive to deception, basically. So he obviously, but he's well prepared. As far as his skill set is considered. We talked about him learning the golden snake, and he has that golden snake song, which is very cool. It's got this little wavy look to it with the snake sort of like, and then even the darts, the gold darts that he throws have like the little snakes on, so they're very cool. And early on, when he's finding this lair, he's digging up. He finds the bones of the old master that was the bandit there, and so he's digging up digging a grave for, because he's finding treasure. So he's going to bury the skeletal remains in respect. But then as he's digging the hole, he comes across his chest, and the chest says, "If you bury me super deep, you'll get a treasure out of this. But if you take it now, then that's not a good idea." So he follows the instructions and finds like another smaller box. And then that one, it says, "Yeah, since you did this, you'll be rewarded, because if you would have opened up the fake map, it's laced with poison." So that was the Golden Snake Bandit's way of taking out villainous people who weren't going to care about his remains or be noble enough to respect his wishes and his commands. So there is a couple of guys that come shortly after, and he has to rebury everything. And sure enough, they don't follow the rules. One guy gets killed once he opens up the big chest, and then the other guy ends up licking through the manual with all the fighting skills, and ends up licking the whatever arsenic or poison or whatever it's laced with, and kills himself through that. So then, obviously, Juan can take the real prize, and he can either go find the treasure for himself, or he can go and take it to somebody named it's one of the Wins. It's the mother of Wen Qingping, or Qing. So it's her mother, even though at this stage early in the film we are to assume it's a boy. And so naturally, you see how Wen actually likes Juan. Like, you can tell there's an attraction there, but Wen plays it off as like, "Oh, you're my brother. You helped me out, and come. She tries to leave some gold with him to split the gold for saving her life, but he manages to track her down to where they live, and so now he's at the palace or whatever it is the place that they stay, and so they have a big clan there, and it's one that consists of the five elemental array warriors, and most of them are Venoms. You'll recognize from the Five Deadly Venom movie and stuff like that through other films. So obviously, he finds her, Wen, and then he tries to give the gold back, and again you see where Wen says, "Oh, you're disgusted by me. You don't like me." It's pouting. And even though again, as a viewer, you're supposed to believe it's a male trying to act like a child, it's just because she actually has a crush on Juan. That's really what it comes down to. And she's kind of like a brat, and so she's there with her mother there. So eventually, it does get revealed that Wen is a girl, and the whole subplot there is her mother was actually taken captive by the Golden Snake Bandit at one point in the past. And that was at the time when the Golden Snake Bandit was killing 50 of the men of this clan, and then taking certain women and putting them in brothels. So it was his revenge for the death of his family through this clan. And but the mother, when she was kidnapped, the Golden Snake guy kind of, it's almost like if you ever saw was it Hidden Tiger, Crouching Tiger, whatever that movie was in the early 2000s with Chow Yun Fat and them. It's a kind of plot like that because the mother gets kidnapped by the Golden Snake Band, and then they begin forming a relationship. They become lovers, and but then there's this promise made that the bandit would you know go find a treasure because he has a treasure map, and he's going to go find a treasure and come back for her because he was going to drop her back off at the clan, so everyone knew she was okay. But she sort of got ostracized by the rest of the clan because she's still alive, and they don't know why he let her go. So it's kind of like this, like, oh my God, you survived while so many didn't. And so there's just like this bitterness or you know resentful about it. But eventually, and I'll just show you a little bit of the clips here from the final fight. Basically, Juan, who's being told by the mother there, and you see her there with the young girl. Uh, she explains the whole thing of what happened with the Golden Snake Bandit, which Juan knows the philosophy and fighting styles of that. So once it gets revealed, you can tell the clan is now really perturbed and upset, and they're now going to try to kill him. And they end up killing someone else, which I won't get into. I want you guys to see this. It's a really classic movie. Uh, but again, the choreography is really, really good in this. Now, I saw some ratings on IMDb. They only gives like 3 out of 5 stars, and I don't know if I feel that this is much, much better than that. I don't know. I find a lot of the Shaw Brothers films really, really good, and I kind of get disappointed when people don't match up to that. But it's all subjective. But either way, uh, he ends up fighting them, and he even comes across some of his own from the other clans, and that's where it kind of starts out. Where initially he's trying to work with this clan to help out Win, even though Win at the time doesn't really understand that her own grandfather and the clan around her is not very good people. So obviously, towards the end, it is revealed that, and so that's when Juan has to fight them there. You can see he's learning how the array works, and he's helping out another one of the clan that he's a part of. I really, really enjoy a lot of the fighting in this. I think it's really cool. Just some great choreography. You got these two again, definitely Venoms. I showed you that one already. But yeah, I just really, really love this film. And I think it's really good. Um, as usual, it ends pretty abruptly, like they usually do in the old days of martial arts. But yeah, this is one thing I did notice too. I have to go back and research a little bit because I didn't have enough time before I started doing this. So the one girl, not Wen, not the mother, but there's another one that's a part of the clan that Wanzo, the actress. And I think I was watching like a clip of an interview with another one of the actors in this movie, and that was his wife apparently. And there was some really big debate about like how much film time she was going to have, or I don't know, the way he was making it sound like is that he was kind of jealous of the fact that she, even though she never had any real experience on film, she was doing really well. And, obviously she was a attractive looking woman. So I guess he was kind of jealous. Some of the other actors were getting, a little too friendly. I mean, I don't know how far that was going or if it's even that accurate, but according to this person, his name's Chu K, I think is or K Chu, because like I noticed on IMDb, it'll have the names backwards usually. Because I tried to look it up by Chu K and came up with someone totally different. If I do K Chu, then it comes up under that actor. So it's weird how people it reverses sometimes in terms of how you read their name. But I thought that was kind of an interesting. I had to kind of dig a little bit more on that. But yeah, if you guys know any history on that, like the actress that I'm trying to remember what her name was. I would assume it's no, who was that? Because I was getting ready to say Sayo Yuk is Mei Jian, but I don't know if that's her or not. No, I think it's Ching Li. I think that's her. So I think that's the one that plays the character I'm talking about. Let me just double check. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's her. Um, I'm just gonna double check here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Or actually, that might be the mother. I think that's the mother. So I might be wrong there. So it might be this Ciel Yuk as Mei Gianni, and she's one of the other clansmen from those main three, that like the one at top one, like she's part of the other one from one of the other fighters, like Iron Fist or whatever he was. Uh, she's the one who ends up cutting off the arm of one of the bad guys. But this is what this guy in the video was referencing his wife, and so there was like a lot of drama with him. Like he's like, if you keep putting her on film, I'm going to go back to Taiwan, and I don't know like the entire story behind that. So if anybody has like detail, just hit me up in the comics and let me know like what the drama is there with that. But he also says at the same time in the interview that they were very proud of the film and very happy with the way it turned out and all that. So it's like, well, why is there drama? I don't understand. This doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So, needless to say, though, this film is very, very good. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if I've seen the '93 version. Um, it's still like an Asian film, obviously. Let me see who put that one out. That one's from Hong Kong, directed by Zhang Ho-Ching, while this one was Chang Che that did the one that I liked. But this one, I don't know if it's anybody I recognize. Yuan Bio, Danny Lee, Anita Yuan. So yeah, not a lot of names I would pick up on. Rick Myers would probably know exactly who a lot of these people are. He's the fountain of knowledge when it comes to martial arts and history and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so I don't know if the '93 film is any good, but certainly this 1981 one by the Shaw Brothers is amazing for me and highly recommended. Definitely a 10 out of 10 film for me. Got some stuff coming up later this week. Obviously, tomorrow, Rick Myers is actually going to be joining me for Action Film Autopsy. He's got a bunch of films and series. He's going to discuss what he's seen, what he feels about them. Samurai can't make it for this month, so I'm going to hold down the fort for him and do that hosting for him for that. Some of the things that Rick will be talking about is from Netflix, Last Bullet, Sniper: The Last Stand, from Disney, Doctor Who, Andor. He's going to talk a little bit about that. Then in the theaters, he's going to get the Karate Kid Legends and Thunderbolts, which I'm kind of curious what his thoughts are on Thunderbolts. Neko and I are actually going to go see, as long as she's feeling up to it, see Legends tonight. And then he's also going to comment on a bunch of other movies that are in the theaters right now. So I'll be curious to see his thoughts on that stuff as well. He's a really cool guy, great dude, fountain of knowledge, and I can't talk highly enough about him. But also, I'm going to be doing my species spotlight on my tarantula collection soon. I'm going to be focusing on the Costa Rican striped knee, my spiders Corella, but I'll be talking a little bit about the species itself and what they are, and I'll have some help from some online tarantulas keepers who are in the know, more detailed about tarantulas in general. So, but a lot of stuff coming up the rest of the week. Just be on the lookout for it, and appreciate the support and love. Hit like and subscribe. See you next time on the Lone Wolf with Dub.
Just live before you die. Find the